Hey folks, my name is Jason Wampler. Um, I'm going to break my promise about a great many things. Um, I'm not going to do this old car. I'm not going to do the Rocket Minute. I'm not going to do dinosaur psychology. I'm just going to do one hour show per week called the Weekly Rant by Jason Wampler. Uh, it's just musings and opinions and observations. And I'm trying to do it in the morning because I gotta tell you, these camera phones, these camera apps, they just don't catch the unnatural light like they should. I'm mildly stressed out right now because I have money to pay the rent. I just can't access it. So I'm now officially a day late on the rent. They may have just charged me an extra $50, but it's good to be concerned about these things. It indicates that I'm responsible. What do I want to rant about? Initially, I started ranting on a show called Dinosaur Psychology. It's not that I don't want to rake fiery coals to my chest. I just don't feel like talking about any one subject in particular and having to label it. I just want a YouTube channel. I just want to call it the Weekly Rant, and I want to vent some thoughts and feelings and opinions and observations that may keep you up at night thinking about. Keep thinking about it, or just you may just completely blow me off. I don't really care. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It's going to be a 1 hour show once a week. I don't know when. I can't commit to 11 a.m. because the time 11 a.m. rolls down any day of the week. It seems that I'm busier in a rooster and a two-story getup. Um, I am, however, uh, building, still building rockets when I get the chance. I haven't done much of that lately. I'm writing a couple of books and I'm planning on writing a script for a trilogy of movies, but nobody knows what I'm doing. I have Durant's publishers in Chicago. They're very very professional, but they're arch conservative. The way they promote a book, though, is a surefire ticket to success. I just have to figure out how I'm going to get the money out of my uncle to get them to publish my first book and really get them to light things up. I'm writing a couple of books right now. I'm not going to tell you the titles. I'm not going to give anything away. When they're ready to be published, then you're going to know what they're about. Until then, I keep my mouth shut. I keep secrets. I know how to keep to myself and not divulge too much of anything. Anything I do is creative. Well, I mean, other people do this to other people, but if I do anything that's creative, it gets stolen. So, but again, the people who do that to me do it to other people, and other people do it to them in turn. So, around you go. Okay, this week's rant is on the subject of creativity. With the advent of the writers' strike, I kind of understand both the viewpoint of the fox and the hound. Writers, uh, whatever reason, corporate Hollywood has wanted to keep the same writers around. Corporate Hollywood does things backwards. They rotate actors, but they hold on to their writers. They should be rotating their writers and holding on to their actors. I think, for example, Tony Shalhoub. Um, who else? Uh, Bruce Bruce Greenwood. Um, and who else? Sarah Silverman, to name a few, have a lot of extra miles on them as far as male and female or men and women actors are concerned, or women and men actors. Women come first. I'm on with woke. It's not heavily commercialized. Dwayne Johnson, of course, is a mega superstar. Liam Neeson, Harrison Ford. Um, Sylvester Stallone passed away. That's unfortunate. But guys like Robert Redford can pick any fight he wants. So can Robert De Niro or Al Pacino. Adam Sandler, he's kind of backsliding here and there, but he's still got superstar status. Brad Pitt as well. He's reusable. Expensive, but he's reusable. Reusable lady actors or women actors, of course. Julia Roberts is on a show. She's making a comeback. I enjoy that. I think Julia Roberts is slowly evolving as an actor as well. And Julia Roberts is a high horsepower woman actor. There's I got to be honest with you, as far as women actors are concerned, unfortunately, I think Julia Roberts she's kind of alone. She's up there with Meryl Streep, Sissy Spacek, uh, maybe even Carol Burnett, possibly even Reba McEntire. Reba McEntire is more of a singer. Taylor Taylor Swift, Tay Tay, she's kind of an actor, but she's more of a showman, showwoman or show person slash singer. But as far as women actors are concerned, I mean, and Oprah Winfrey, Rose Byrne, I appreciate her. There's a gal, an older heavyset gal, real older heavyset gal in her 70s, and she's Irish, and she's got the look about her. She's an ominous and scary woman. I don't know her name. Um, Shelley Duvall, if she's still around. Um, there is Aubrey Plaza. There is Anna Camp, or not Anna Camp, but Anna Kendrick. Anna Camp or Anna Kendrick did a voiceover in the new Trolls movie. I didn't bother to go see. Um, there is, of course, Lindsay Lohan, which she's got a really bad reputation as a troublemaker, but she's got a lot of miles on her. There's Tina Fey, but Tina Fey, she has a look, but she didn't have a whole lot of range. And there's Amy Poehler. I'm rooting for Amy Poehler. Maya Rudolph, of course. There's a short, heavyset gal. Her name escapes me. Um, then there's the girl with the big eyes, the pretty big eyes. Her name escapes me. Jessica Chastain is a force to be reckoned with, but again, I suspect that the women actors in Hollywood they kind of run up against this wall. They don't do certain favors for certain people because they're women. The nature of their design, whatever you want to call it, the hardships and living hell that is being a woman and an actor in a man's world in Hollywood. Um, Jessica Chastain is not the type of girl that's going to yield. Who's that new girl that was in Barbie and the fantastic movie by Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I cannot think. Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is a fantastic actress. The problem is she's a little too trendy. She's like the flavor of the month. She she's a reasonably good actress, but it doesn't seem like she's really earned her way to the position where she's at right now. And I don't mean to come down on her. There's Uma Thurman, Sandra Bullock, if I haven't already mentioned her. There is, of course, um, oh my goodness, there's two more. There's Nicole Kidman, but there's also the girl my friend Steve Hagen has a crush on, whose name escapes me. He did commercials when she was really young, but she was in a movie called Flight Plan, and she was an engineer who worked on fueling systems for jet turbines, and her name escapes me right now, but it'll come back to me. That's actually part of dementia. I think dementia is setting in. So I root for the actress, if you can call them that, or the lady actress, the woman actress, whatever the correct term is. Here's the problem I have with Hollywood. I have several problems with Hollywood. Number one, first and foremost, they don't know how to harness and find creativity. Number two, they put on the role or mantle of producer and director. You're either a producer, a cinematographer, a director, or you're a script writer. Or in my case, I am a straight writer and casting director. I can do casting for any single movie on this planet. I believe one movie a week is being made. I could serve as casting director for any movie anywhere on this planet, and always 100% pick 100% the right people for the right job. 100% of the time. I'm scary good at it. But what I really am is an author, and the type of author that I am, and this is just kind of going branching off the theme of, know your place, Hollywood, know your place. You're Hollywood executive. You say things like, I'm the money, and people say, yes, you're the money, but don't try to put on the mantle of producer or director. Producers have aesthetic sense. They know how to bring people together to create something that has artistic integrity. Producers can pick actors, cinematographers, and directors, put them together, and they work together properly and know how to make the movie. The producer wants to make, and they can funnel the money into a project and make it successful. Because there's a right way and a wrong way to make movies. Everybody knows that, except for the executives. Hollywood executives are making the mistake of keeping the writers and rotating the actors. That's the first mistake. The second mistake, they're attempting to do things that are creative and artistic when they have no talent for it. That's their second mistake. And then the third mistake was what I was, what I was talking about. Um, but those are the two major mistakes I see. Like I said, I was just talking about myself. I I'm basically I mean I can either be a screenwriter or a script writer, but I'm mostly an author and writer. I am a very prolific writer. But the thing is about the way I write, folks, I don't write a book a day. I don't write 100 pages a day, folks. I'll work out and I'll concentrate. At the most, I'll get 15 pages a day done, and that's it. And I'll be working on maybe a 180-page script, and it's going to take me a very long time. Now, I have several projects ahead of myself. The name of my media company is Blankenship Arrival Group. We're at Blankenship Arrival Group at gmail.com. That's our email. I don't have a website yet, but again, Blankenship Arrival Group is the name of my media company. Um, and that's pretty much that. But when I write very deliberately. When I'm free form writing, I'm doing something that comes to me naturally. I can maybe, I can maybe pump out maybe about 30 or 40 pages a day. 40 pages a day maximum. If I'm doing something serious, like a couple of my projects, um, one of which is I just go ahead and tell you because I don't think anybody could follow my act. I don't mean to brag, but one of my projects is the Southern Comfort series. It's a trilogy. There's Monkey Dirt, Monkey Dirt, and Unhealthy Fear, and the very hot environment we exist in. That's those are the titles of the three acts. The trilogy, the Southern Comfort trilogy. I'm working on another trilogy. Actually, I wanted to do one book. It's called Soft Joshua, and the storyline is so complex that I overwhelm myself. I'll go ahead and tell you the two books that I am writing. The one book that I'm writing, it's called Little Dixie. It's about an opossum that is a 1-year-old opossum that actually takes on human qualities and is a director of a movie. And the name of the movie, the title of the movie is This Sad Red Environment We Find Ourselves In, which is a remake of Romeo and Juliet. What makes my book complex, frightening and complex, is the fact that even I get lost. Yesterday, I was at the library trying to collate and rewrite because I want to send off an organized manuscript in 26 size 26 script, Calibri. You just choose the first thing that Microsoft Word gives you, and that's Calibri size 26. So I want it to be easy reading for my folks at Durant's Publishing in Chicago. And I promised them I'd give them a manuscript. That was about 2 months ago. Here it is 2 months later. And I'm still only halfway through, but the book is very complex. It goes from people describing people's real names to their character names, describing them as human beings, and then describing them as animals with their character names. In the animal world, a bunch of animals getting together in this woman's and then one of the main characters' backyards to direct a movie. And it's all the goings on set that mirror real life and the ins and outs and all the troubles and headaches involved in the movie making process. And that's kind of what the book is about. But Little Dixie is a 1-year-old opossum. Her owner is a banking executive named Carrie, and she has a life of her own. She had a daughter. She's 49. She's 48. She's also 49 years old. Still a young girl at heart. She had a daughter who went to UCLA Film School, graduated, super genius, graduated when she was 20 because she started film school when she was 16. And evidently she was going to high school and to film school at UCLA at the same time. Graduated when she was 20. When she was 24, she died of bone marrow cancer. Okay, she didn't even get to make her first movie, and her goal was to make 18 movies, save up her money, and become a Hollywood producer, and help other young women from UCLA, graduated from UCLA film school, make movies that she would produce, and that was her goal. And unfortunately, she got taken away from her mother and the rest of her friends when she was 24 from bone marrow cancer. Her name was Dixon Paxton McLaren, and she took her father's name. Carrie had a liaison with her father. The man was a jerk, and what can I say? That's Carrie's life. But present day, this Carrie has in her possession a 1-year-old opossum named Little Dixie. Now, Little Dixie is extremely intelligent. She's got broad shoulders. She is stern and smart and playful. She has friends, but she likes to insult them a lot. Um, Pleasantly arrogant little 1-year-old female opossum, also a movie director. Um, the movie's dotted the book. I don't know how it's going to be formatted. In addition to the book, there's something called the Wordsmith Companion, where I wax philosophical. I do philosophical writing. I do philosophical creative writing that accompany each chapter of the book to kind of describe in philosophical detail the things that describe the human condition, describe the human behavior and psychology, yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how the book's going to do. To be honest with you, it might be a seriously overreaching book. However, if it's promoted properly, it might actually work. The thing is, I do have to figure out the mechanism and the structure and how to make this book work. I want it to be an easy read, but I want it to be sophisticated, different, and elaborate in addition to being easy. I want it to be very, very accessible, and that has to do a lot with marketing and what and so forth. I'm writing another. Actually, I'm writing a second and third book. The second book is called Lily. It's about a young 16-year-old girl. Actually, she's almost 17. Her arch nemesis at high school named Lacey, and of course her friend named Jocelyn, who's she's half Filipino, half Chinese. Um, Lily herself is a dark-haired girl who has pigmentosa of the retina, so her eyes are white. Her pupils don't have any color to them. It makes her look kind of unusual. She has raven black hair. She's a tall, slim girl with an athletic build. But here's the kicker: Lily is a rocket designer and rocket scientist. All she can do and all she can think about are rockets. And if you know anything about American culture, and society in this society we live in is not accepting of women who are eccentric designers, engineers, and builders. I don't care what anybody says. Ayn Rand, a fountainhead, is my hero too, and so are all the daughters of the revolution. I want to see women kick ass, but as an engineer and a designer myself, in addition to the other few hats that I wear, I want to see women excel in key areas of study and field of research, science, and engineering that they don't. And I'm not entirely sure that women understand things about themselves and the world and the situations they create for themselves, but Lily is a breakout character in the sense that she's so involved in the complexities of propulsion and rocket airframe. And she loves her friend Jocelyn, who is another exceptional high IQ young lady. They both have exceptional parenting. Lily's parents are very involved in her life, and so are Jocelyn's. Or not Jocelyn's, Rosalind, excuse me. I say Jocelyn. Lacey Lacey is on the opposite end of the spectrum. She didn't have high end intelligence. She has administrative, political, and law enforcement intelligence. Well, as the book wears on, you're going to find out that three of these get together. Lacey and Lily absolutely positively hate each other with a passion, and they always will. They just rub each other the wrong way because there's bad chemistry. Lily and her friend Rosalind are thick as thieves. They're inseparable. They will probably be buried in the same mass grave. Um, Rosalind can tolerate Lacey because she understands where Lacey is coming from. The way it's going to end up is Rosalind's going to end up a world famous life scientist biologist. Lily could end up buying her aerospace company from her father and being the world's foremost independent designer of rocket airframe and propulsion units. And she's going to be doing work for NASA, Ariane, and such and so forth. Lacey, she's an interesting cat. She's going to end up becoming the next woman director of the FBI. And Lacey is the one to watch as far as drop kicking ass is concerned. So the book is one of those girls rule, boys drool, but they fight each other too kind of thing. I want to see women kick ass, but I'm not going out of my way to do it. It's just that the character Lily, she popped up in my head because I design and build rockets myself, and that's pretty much that. So that's the second book I'm in the process of writing. Third book is a really a lighthearted, raucous, turbulent foray into humor. It's called Wordsmithing Gone Horribly Wrong. And I guess this is a 20-minute promo of myself. I always did like show and tell in school. The book centers around Dr. Stensfeld, who's a health inspector, and his sidekicks, Dr. Thesaurus, um, and of course the center main character. There's always a main character in the books. His name is Chewy. Um, what's his last name? Um, Chewy McGivelray. Chewy McGivelray. He has his formal first name, but Chewy is his given name. And he has an English accent. He's light skinned, African English. He's probably like 1/3 or 1/4 African. The rest of him is European Caucasian. Um, and it centers around all the adventures that they have as food inspectors, health inspectors, inspect restaurants in various places where food is kept, stored, sold, or served, cooked, or otherwise, and all the misadventures they have. It's a tough read. It's not really something that I don't think the women are going to want to read it. If they do, they're going to gag or they're going to cover their mouths. It's nauseating. It's one of those books where it's kind of a dark, gruesome kind of humor. Very similar to, not exactly the same as Monty Python, The Flying Circus. I am a big fan of Monty Python, The Flying Circus, Ministry of Silly Walks, The Knights Who Say Knee, everybody who tells you to buy a herring or a shrubbery and torture old women by standing in front of them and making strange sounds. Um, I refuse to beat men over the head and kill them so that they can go off in carts and be burnt with the rest of the body during the plague. But you know what? It's just a movie, so I don't need to stress about it. Anyway, so those are the three books I'm writing on. I'm a straight writer. I could be a casting director. I could direct music videos, but I've got to be honest with you. Camera work is just really not my thing. I don't like working with cameras. I'm not sure they would. So if writing and producing if writing, producing, and casting directing is all I ever do, I believe you me, I'll be happy. If writing is all I do, and then that's fine. I'll be just perfectly happy with that, because you do what you love and you love what you do. Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Um, if you do what you love and you love what you do your whole life, you never work a day in your entire life. But it's so absorbing. Like I said, I can turn and burn. I can write up to 40 pages a day, but 40 pages is it. That's my max. I'm not Stephen King. I'm not Tom Clancy. I'm not Clive Cussler. I'm not Alistair MacLean. I'm not J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is just incredibly talented. She's an amazing woman. So is Danielle Steele. As authors who are women, these women really kick butt, and they write prolifically. I don't know how they do it. Um, but like I said, I'm at 40 pages a day, and then I'm pretty much petered out. In fact, I need to keep reviewing my third book, Wordsmithing Gone Horribly Wrong, because it's humorous, but it's vectored. It's taken a turn that isn't descriptive of the adventures of Chewy McGilvray, which is chief inspector but not a doctor, and his boss, Doctor Doctor Stensmead, or Doctor. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Sten's meat. I forgot his name. A Chewie. I've got a visible image of Chewie in my head, and he's very similar to the guy. I don't know if you watched the movie about the boy who got hit by the car, and the Beatles never existed, so he wrote all the Beatles songs, attributed to himself, and he became wealthy. Well, his friend, who drank a lot, the mulatto individual, if I can say that, he's like maybe one quarter African, but he was always joking around. He was, I guess, good. He boosted morale, but he was an alcoholic, and he's just kind of a loser. Well, Chewie is the opposite. He's not a loser. He's just he probably doesn't even drink. He's just very very eccentric when it comes to what he cooks for and eats, and what he cooks and whether and presents to other people for that he says is suitable for human consumption is probably not. I haven't even gotten into adventures where he's serving food to other people, except for the very beginning of the book. But you'll have to read it. It's called. When I publish it, it'll be called "Wordsmithing Gone Horribly Wrong." I understand if the title needs to change. I'll work with Durant's on that. So those are my three books. And the problem I have is I have a busy lifestyle and I'm struggling to survive financially. I live in Los Angeles. It's very expensive here. And I just try to do everything I can to get as much writing as I can done. And guys, I can only manage 30 to 40 pages a day. A good writer is going to take his time to do his research, set and format up everything, and write it right. The inspiration is 10%, uh, 10% the product's 10% good suit, and the other 90% is perspiration. 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. And I understand that now. But here's the thing: it's not work. You're motivated to bring what you created to life because you think it's humorous. I don't know anything about what constitutes humor that would make Americans this country laugh. I do believe that I would get more than just a collective amount of cackles. I might end up getting the crowd to roar in England. I have a decidedly English proclivity towards humor, but that's not necessarily a good thing where I live in the United States. So that plus the fact I've never compared any of my work to anybody else, I don't know, how good my own books are. I'm just gonna, just kind of hand them to my publishers and let them be objective critics. Tell me maybe I need to work on something. I don't know. I don't know my own style. So anyway, I'm starting to generate a spooky image. It really is dark, and I can't natural light. I want to. I have the camera facing me. The problem is, if I have the camera facing the opposite direction, I can look into the camera, but I can't tell how my reflection looks, and I'm constantly adjusting it, which is why you should make money from these videos and bring in a producer so that they get the shots that you need, the textures and the shading and the lighting. I mean, if I had the resources, I could do that. I could get it set up. I have a great sense of aesthetics, but there's only one me, and I'm fighting for my financial survival right now. So that's pretty much that. So I look forward to seeing you guys again in one more week. It's been 28 minutes. This has been the weekly rant. Let's see what else I want to say. No, I'm working on actually, after these three books are done, I'm working on a very, very large script. It's a horrendously large script. It's going to be broken up into probably 500 feet books. But you won't believe what it is. Oops, and then I sit down. You will not believe what it is that I'm tackling. But I will say this: Hollywood's third problem is that they're recycling creativity and talent to the umpteenth degree, and that's what leads to my statement about the three large scripts. I am going to write these as scripts, as movie scripts. But I need the education to know how to do that, so I'll educate myself a little bit. Nothing's written in stone except for my spirit and my commitment to develop that trilogy. So there's these three books, and there's that trilogy afterwards. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but maybe we decide to give you a taste during the rally point of the manufacture of the movie. And again, I may not. I don't like that much attention. I want people to look at and watch the movie. I don't want them watching me. They tend to do the opposite. I don't know why. Um, I don't like it. I don't like that type of attention. I'm not a celebrity. Okay, so we're gonna call it. I'm acting goofy like this. I act like I'm under the influence of some type of narcotic. If I get tired, then I'm getting tired. So let's do that now. I don't smoke, drink, cost to do drugs or anything like that. My maid costs, and gosh, John, I think I might have forgotten about that. So we're only at a half an hour, so I'm just going to do a 1 hour show of the weekly rant every week. And that's pretty much it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I apologize for the lighting and the production value of this video. I hope that you're paying more attention to its vital content. Thank you very much, and good night, you folks.